It's really important to listen to elders of the village. And I just became an elder last February 14th when I turned 65. And I qualified for an elder. And that's the way I'm speaking now. At least I have a right to say what you people have to know. Oh, the kids, especially the children, really like to know everything that went on in the history of our village. And that's why I say it's really important when you listen to people like us talk, history, which nobody ever learned of that before. Now let's start from now. At least you listen to somebody that really need to teach as you go along. I teach in school too, as well as I'm here. I teach what I know, and then now the kids are changing their situation about the history of their village. It's really important that you listen to not only me, but everybody you listen to older than you. That way you get a footstand in where you stand, and base your opinion on the words you hear from. That's how come it's important when you do things like that. Well, that's why I've been talking all these times, just to get the younger generation involved so they know what to do for the future. That's all I'm talking about, for the future themselves, ways of working.
There you are. You ready?
Since 1959 when I first started this, there's a number of things went on before then. React Club, elders, and everything went on. Now I'm trying my best to keep on going. As long as I'm alive, I'm willing to teach the younger generation how to work and do that. That's what we need in our village today. People like elders come around and tell them what's going on. And that's why I say it's very interesting when you get the young children involved. That way you're able to teach everybody. And what happens if something happened to me? There's nobody around to listen to what's going on. Now it's time to take a real strict attention on that, to tell all kinds of things what's going on with ourselves, the relations of our village. Keeping the family together is the main thing. That's how you can keep the families together. It's what I'm doing today. And I'll continue doing that because there's no way of escaping that. If we didn't have elders to tell the stories like that, it's like what I'm telling. Now it's time to start. And I started in 1959, and it's all what you see behind me all comes from the garbage dump. And that's where I create that cooking, everything that I cooking is, garden, you name it. Washer and dryers, I take them apart at the garbage dump. And when the time comes, when time comes to our planting, I plant everything in the greenhouse. I haven't got that aware. And houses from torn down, I save all the 2x6s, 2x12, and build a box over that so we can plant stuff in there. Yeah. And when I first take that pickup boxes down, I took it in the back of my pickup, took it up the house, drill holes in the bottom for drainage. You put rock in the bottom and then mud on top of that. There's 2 boxes I got. We got almost 450 pounds of potatoes out of that. Yeah.
So Homer, were you born here?
Yeah.
And your parents from here?
Yeah.
So you go down a few generations.
That's right.
And so you must see a lot of changes in the last few years.
Yeah. And I also joined council in the 1970s, I was a young man at the time. I'm glad that I joined council. It's about time our people get ahead, send the younger generation to the council, learn what's going on. At least from there, then you can go on and on. When I first joined council, that's why I joined council, just to take notice of what's going on for the future. And that's why I'm here today, because speaking about councils then, we fought for the roads, complex, swimming pool, everything. Paved roads, the road to Tux, that's how come we started. It's just a logging road when we first started. Then later on that year, and then we started putting more people to work on that road. That's how come we're so successful today, because of what we were doing.
Yeah, a lot of growth, a lot of positive growth.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that.
When I taught school too. About 3 days last week, and I've been there. I talked to the classes, hey, what you got a hold of, it's just negative attitude will never get you anywhere. Once you disrupt that, then think positive about your work. And mark my word, it's going to build right up, so you get somewhere in your schooling.
Yeah, we've been traveling all morning. I know it's pretty good.
That's real important to the kids, eh? And the history of the bad stories, eh? I told them all what's going on during our days. And then I went through it myself.
The stories of
The danger of going off in the woods by yourself, eh?
right.
Porcupine and otter, they work together. As soon as you hear a person crying, and they don't want to go up there, and when they hear that otter hear that cry, go right up to the porcupine. They stand there and lay there until somebody come up. And there's lots of stories about that. 14 elders I went to, all true. And the same way with my grandfather. He went to church town, eh? And as soon as you see that person come up, strange person, you know, you can see it right away, your nose start moving like that. And once you start talking to them and then scream, and right away there's a person turn back to animals and run away.
Wow.
That's how important yeah. And that's the reason why I'm speaking today, because I knew all those stories, eh? And not very many kids get a hold of that story. That's why I'm teaching in school today, the history of our village. Land question was started in 1951 when they changed it around. They put it towards land claims. Ever since that government heard about that, that's when we got put down right away. And it's quoted, if I go to court, I haven't got a chief name or the speaker of the tribe. And with that alone, each chief of the village, they got the right to know where their land comes from, how they got that name, and what name are they associated. 9 tribes,
Yeah.
That's really important today, because of what's going on in the future years. We're going to lose our land on account of that. That's why I teach in school, like whatever I know from the elders, that's how come they start learning. And then again, it's up to the elders to come out and teach more, and give me a hand, teach more. That the more merry you get, the better it is.